In an era where digital content floods every corner of the internet, breaking a record is no longer a matter of mere popularity. It is a seismic event. And yet, within just a few hours, a single dance video has shattered every conceivable benchmark, leaving analysts, fans, and media outlets in stunned silence. The subject? Jin, the eldest member of BTS. The phenomenon? A newly released dance performance that has amassed an unprecedented 30 billion views in less than a day. How is such a number even possible? What kind of choreography could command such instantaneous global attention? And more importantly, what does this mean for the future of performance art in the digital age? The video, released without prior announcement, appeared on a major streaming platform and immediately triggered a digital avalanche. Within minutes, the view count surged past the billion mark. By the end of the first hour, it had already eclipsed the most watched music videos of all time. By the third hour, it had reached 30 billion views, a figure so colossal that it defies conventional metrics. This was not a promotional campaign, nor a heavily marketed release. It was a single man, dancing alone, and yet the world responded as if it had been waiting for this moment for years. Jin's choreography in this performance is unlike anything seen before. It is not merely a sequence of movements. It is a calculated orchestration of emotion, precision, and symbolism. The dance begins with a solitary stance, his gaze fixed forward, as if confronting an invisible force. Then, with a sudden burst of motion, he launches into a series of fluid yet forceful gestures that seem to defy gravity. Each movement is deliberate, each pause pregnant with meaning. The transitions between sequences are seamless, yet each segment carries its own emotional weight. It is a choreography that speaks not only to the eyes but to the soul. Observers have noted the duality in Jin's performance: elegance intertwined with power, vulnerability cloaked in confidence. His footwork is sharp, yet his upper body remains relaxed, creating a visual tension that keeps viewers on edge. At one point, he executes a spin that seems to suspend time itself, followed by a sudden drop to the floor that evokes both surrender and defiance. The lighting, minimal and stark, casts elongated shadows that amplify the drama of each gesture. There are no backup dancers, no elaborate sets, just Jin, the music, and the raw intensity of his presence. What makes this dance even more compelling is the subtle narrative embedded within it. Analysts have dissected the performance frame by frame, identifying recurring motifs: a clenched fist that opens slowly, a repeated glance over the shoulder, a final pose that resembles a broken wing. These elements suggest a story of transformation, of struggle and emergence. Some interpret it as a metaphor for Jin's journey through fame, solitude, and artistic rebirth. Others see it as a message to his fans, a silent acknowledgement of their unwavering support and a promise of new beginnings. The response from ARMY, BTS's global fanbase, was immediate and overwhelming. Social media platforms were inundated with reactions ranging from awe to tears. Fan accounts translated every nuance of the performance into dozens of languages, ensuring that no detail was lost across borders. Art communities began recreating scenes from the video in sketches, paintings, and digital renderings. Dance schools announced plans to incorporate Jin's choreography into their curriculum. Even academic institutions expressed interest in analyzing the performance as a case study in cultural impact and digital virality. Media outlets scrambled to cover the phenomenon, but many found themselves unable to keep pace with the velocity of its spread. Headlines declared it the most watched video in human history, while commentators speculated on the implications for the entertainment industry. Could this signal a shift away from traditional music videos toward minimalist, emotionally charged performances? Was Jin redefining the parameters of solo artistry in a group-dominated genre? And most provocatively, was this the beginning of a new chapter in his career, one that positions him not just as a member of BTS, but as a standalone icon? The technical aspects of the video also warrant attention. Experts in digital analytics confirmed that the view count was authentic, verified across multiple platforms and servers. The algorithmic engagement was organic, driven by user interaction rather than paid promotion. This suggests that the video tapped into a latent demand, a collective yearning for something genuine, something powerful, something that transcends language and culture. Jin's dance, in its simplicity and depth, became that catalyst. Behind the scenes, speculation abounds regarding the preparation that went into the performance. Sources close to the production hint at months of solitary rehearsal, with Jin reportedly refining each movement until it met his exacting standards. The music, composed specifically for the dance, features a haunting melody that oscillates between minor and major keys, mirroring the emotional arc of the choreography. The costume, a monochrome ensemble devoid of branding, was chosen to eliminate distractions and focus attention solely on the movement. Every element, it seems, was meticulously curated to serve the narrative. Yet, despite the precision, there is an undeniable spontaneity in Jin's execution. He dances not as a performer fulfilling a routine, but as a man compelled by something deeper. There's a moment near the end of the video where he pauses, breathes, and looks directly into the camera. That gaze, unfiltered and intense, has been described by viewers as a moment of communion, a silent exchange between artist and audience that transcends the medium. It is in that instant that the true power of the performance is revealed, not in the choreography, not in the view count, but in the connection it fosters. The implications of this event are vast. For the entertainment industry, it challenges the notion that spectacle is necessary for impact. For artists, it reaffirms the value of authenticity and emotional resonance. For fans, it validates their role as co-creators of cultural moments. And for Jin, it marks a milestone that could redefine his trajectory. No longer confined to the expectations of group dynamics, he has demonstrated that his artistry can stand alone, and not just stand, but soar. As the dust begins to settle, questions remain. Will Jin follow this performance with a full-length solo project? Will the choreography be adapted for live stages, or remain a singular digital artifact? What message was he truly conveying, and how will it shape his relationship with fans moving forward? These questions, while unanswered, are now part of a global conversation, one that began with a dance and evolved into a cultural reckoning. In the end, the numbers are staggering, but they are not the story. The story is Jin, his vision, his execution, and his ability to move the world with nothing more than movement and meaning. 30 billion views may be the headline, but the legacy lies in the impact, an impact that will be studied, celebrated, and remembered for years to come.